Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. So it's a good sign. Bitcoin's above 43,000 right now. And it's the last day of September today. So we got the final close for today happening later on in the afternoon today. Bitcoin is, like I said, at 43,000 right now, which is a good sign. We are obviously holding pretty steady right around this area right now. We have some news to talk about, obviously, about Bitcoin here. So why don't we get into that, a little bit of Polygon, and then we'll get into the charts a little bit more. So if we go to the first story here, PlanB. So PlanB on Twitter posted this last night. What will trigger the next? Hopefully you guys can see this. Let's see, here we go. What will trigger the next big leg of Bitcoin bull market? ETF approval from SEC. We have a story on that where Gary Gensler is reiterating support for futures ETF. Nation adoption. Next, El Salvador. Lightning Network strike surprise Jack Mallers, right? We had that happen. Apple, Amazon, Google, MS adoption. We'll have to see if that happens. RSK, not sure what RSK killer use cases. Blockstream, but not sure what RSK stands for. Next, Michael Saylor, Paul Tudor Jones, right? Buying more. And then China U-turn, obviously, on Bitcoin possibly happening. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that's just what PlanB is saying could trigger the next bull run. So let's get into the story with Gary Gensler here. So Bitcoin jumps as SEC's Gensler reiterates support for futures ETF, and dollar rally may cap gains. Bitcoin's negative correlation with the US dollar is now the strongest since early March. So what looked to set to be a down day for Bitcoin is turning positive, right? We had a down day yesterday a little bit, courtesy of renewed speculation that the US could soon approve an exchange-traded fund on futures linked to the top cryptocurrency. Bitcoin has gained 4.5% to trade near 43,400 one day after exhibiting bearish price action. The cryptocurrency failed to keep gains above 42,000 on Wednesday, hinting at further weakness. And as pseudonymous trader 1SZ noted on Twitter. However, the cryptocurrency picked up early today, possibly in response to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler reiterating support for a narrow class of Bitcoin ETFs, right, that would invest in futures contracts instead of buying the cryptocurrency directly. There is some newfound optimism around the launch approval of ETFs in the U.S., said Matthew Dibb, COO and co-founder of Stack Funds. Canada's decision to approve a multi-cryptocurrency ETF that holds Bitcoin and Ether may have added more impetus to the advance. The U.S. SEC's final verdict on several Bitcoin ETF applications and first response on futures-based ETFs is due next quarter. So that's coming up, October, November, December, possibly. The consensus is crypto market is that an ETF would become the most important source of demand from yield-hungry institutional and traditional market investors. That is correct. We've seen stories about this before where they want to basically invest in Bitcoin, but they can't because of whatever their governance is. So this would actually give them an on-ramp to get into Bitcoin. The first gold-backed ETF in the U.S., the Spider Gold Trust, was launched on November 18th, 2004. Since then, the metal's price has developed a strong link with the Spider Trust flows. Data from ByteTree Asset Management shows Bitcoin ETFs and funds currently own around 801,000 BTC, amounting to 4.3% of the total supply. Holdings ballooned from 250,000 in 2019 to 800,000 to date and helped drive the Bitcoin bull market from 5,000 to 64,000 before flattening off. ByteTree Asset Management's CIO Charlie Morse said in the latest ByteTree Market Health Update published Wednesday, ByteTree tracks the European and Canadian ETFs with the U.S. and Canadian closed-ended funds. So you can see Bitcoin held, has gone up, obviously. It has come down a little bit, but it has been holding strong. So the funds have amassed just over 3,000 Bitcoins over the past 4 weeks. Blockchain data shows large traders have accumulated coins during the recent price dip in a sign of confidence in Bitcoin's broader bull run. So obviously good story here. We'll see if this happens in the quarter or not. Next story. Bitcoin FOMO rally long overdue that could see BTC price top 200,000, Bobby Lee. And unapologetically bullish Bobby Lee takes to mainstream media to dispel any hint of doubt about what's next for Bitcoin price action. So Bitcoin is long overdue for a FOMO rally to new all-time highs that could touch 200,000 or more, says one of the oldest investors. In an interview with Bloomberg on September 29, Bobby Lee, former CEO of exchange BTCC, cast aside any suggestion that the price of BTC was in trouble. Lee, Bitcoin has been due for the next rally for a long time. One of the increasing number of sources staying bullish on Bitcoin for Q4, Lee, who went on to fund a wallet manufacturer Ballot, dismissed recent price weakness. It was only a 5% drop right from the high that we've had this month when the China FOMO came up. He said that when asked about the recent dip to test the 40,000 support level, despite hovering near 42,000 at the time of writing, Bitcoin can not only reclaim its existing all-time highs, but go on to hit 100 or even 200,000 or more. So this is very bullish. You have a lot of more people thinking that Bitcoin still can go up that high this year or within the next 3 to 6 months. This, Lee suggests, should come or at least begin before 2021 is out. So there you go. I think you'll easily go over to 100,000, and then depending on how sharp the rally is, it is also likely to touch 200,000 or even go above that, he said. So I think PlanB's stock to flow model shows possibly 288,000, roughly right around there, as being the top. So to see it, obviously going above 200,000 is a huge milestone. So there'll be a lot of media coverage, and that's what leads to a what they call a fear of missing out rally. Generally, that happens every few years, and I think a FOMO rally for Bitcoin has been due for a long time. So another great bullish story here. Next story is on traders identifying 41,000 as Bitcoin's key support to hold for short term. While the long-term sentiment remains bullish, traders warn that BTC must hold the 41,000 support to avoid a sweep of the 38,000 level. And right now we're holding on to it. We're at 43,200 right now. So today's going to be obviously interesting as far as what happens. Bitcoin faced another day of bearish pressure on September 29th as the impact of China's crypto crackdown, uncertainty about the regulatory landscape in the United States continues to weigh heavily on Bitcoin and some of the large cap altcoins. Data from Cointelegraph, Markets Pro, and TradingView show that the early morning rally above 42,000 lost steam by midday as the price collapsed back near the 41,000 support level, where bulls are now defending against a further price decline. So we saw that happening yesterday. Here's a look at what the traders and analysts are saying about Bitcoin price today. Boring Bitcoin market. So Michael Van D. Pope, quite boring market here on Bitcoin. I'd prefer to see a breaker above 43.8 to conclude we're done with the correction. Holding crucial support nonetheless. So there's this chart. It's kind of blurry, hard to see. So yeah, we'll have to see obviously what Bitcoin does. Right now it's at 43,265, so it's still holding pretty well. It looks like we may have bounced off of our support here, which was at 40,700 roughly, and we've stayed above it for at least now. We'll have to see where it goes during the day today and later on. And finally, our last story is Polygon briefly overtakes Ethereum for active addresses after 330% surge. So if you're investing in Polygon, congrats to you guys. Layer 2 aggregator Polygon has seen a 330% surge in active addresses over the past 3 months, which is a huge increase. Layer 2 protocols have seen monumental growth this year, and in terms of active addresses, one such protocol has briefly surpassed the network for which it is scaling solution. The number of daily active addresses on a Layer 2 aggregated Polygon has surpassed those on the high fee Layer 1 Ethereum, according to Polygon co-founder Mihailo Bejelic. According to his stats, Polygon had 351 daily active addresses on Monday, whereas Ethereum had 326. So another huge milestone for Polygon. We eclipsed Ethereum L1 in daily active addresses for the first time. This is just the beginning. We are working around the clock to improve our tech, strengthen our ecosystem, and increase our adoption. Let's bring the world to Ethereum. So obviously a great story for them. Obviously you're seeing adoption happening as well, and that's a good sign to see. Obviously the story with SEC Gary Gensler is interesting, and one that's kind of positive as well, that he is looking to possibly approve a futures Bitcoin ETF. And there's I think a number of them out there right now that have asked for permission basically with the SEC to do it. They filed the paperwork for it. And then obviously we have the FOMO still not kicking in possibly this year or later on this year, as Lee has stated. So let's get into the charts here really quick, and then just let me know what you guys think of all this stuff down in the comments below. So when we look at the charts here, Bitcoin's obviously at 43,239 right now. It has bounced off of our support that we drew here at 40,700 roughly. And it is, our next resistance is at, what is our next resistance? 44,800. That's our resistance where we have to get past to go up to the next leg up. Ethereum is at $2,980. It touched our resistance here at, what is that? 33,000 roughly. And it says come down off of it. So I'd like to see it go above it. In the next couple of days, we'll have to monitor that as well. Cardano is at $2.09. It is above our support, but still obviously having a hard time getting above our resistance of $2.13. Right now, it looks like the 50-day and the 20-day might cross today if it doesn't go up higher, which doesn't look like it's going to go up past that. Hedera is at 32 cents. Right now, it looks like it's trying to make a pullback up a little bit higher. Litecoin is at 151, still way below our line that we drew here at 167. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. That's a little concerning for me. Dogecoin is at 20 cents. There's a story about Dogecoin Millionaire as well. He's still hodling all of his coins. Stellar is at 27 cents, 27.5 cents. Obviously, is way down from where we were after the crash happened. We had support line drawn at 31 cents. It blew past it and it stayed below it right now. So we have to figure out where our next support line looks like. Our next support line is at 25 cents. If we look at it here, coin is at 1.5 cents. Solano, $137. We are still in that wedge that we drew. What was this? Yesterday or the day before? We drew this wedge pattern here, and it is nicely fitting within that wedge. So when it finally breaks out, either to the downside or to the upside, it's going to be a pretty explosive move, I think. And now the mining stocks, Hive is up per market 1 penny. Bitfarmers is up 1 penny to 416. HUD is up 28 cents to 809. Mara is up 150 to 32.11. And Riot is up 78 cents to 25.65. There is a story on Riot yesterday that they're going to have investors be able to come in and take a look at their mining facility down in Texas, I believe, the one that they just bought. So interesting news, obviously, out here. Not much going on as far as price action. I think when September is over, we'll maybe see a different sign for Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other ones where they might actually start popping. As we all know, September is typically a pretty crappy month for crypto. So glad to be over with it. Almost, we got today to finish out, and then we'll be done. And then we'll be on to Q4. And I'm hoping Q4 is going to be a lot better than what we've had so far. So that's it, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.